Yo, what's up? This is Box Up Nation. We're back at it with another video. I know it's been a very long time since we created one, but with today we want to discuss two big fights coming into the boxing world.
The fights that we're going to discuss are Vasyl Lomachenko versus Campbell and Earl Spence versus Shawn Porter.
And before we get into those topics, if you're in the market for boxing product, you can visit our website at www.boxupnation.com where you can find winning, Bryant boxing, and much more. Alright, first matchup we'll be discussing is Vasyl Lomachenko versus Campbell. Let me know what you think about that matchup. Give me your prediction and your thoughts, John.
First of all, I think Campbell's it's pretty good. It's an interesting matchup. He throws a lot of punches. He has a very slick uppercut the way he throws it. He loops it in there nice. He's rangy. So I think it's going to be similar to the style that whenever Loma fought Hernandez. And I say that because Campbell throws a lot of punches. He has a little bit of quickness, although I think Hernandez is a little faster. And but he throws a lot of punches. He's not very. It doesn't seem like he's a very big power puncher, but he does put a lot of pressure. He does have range, and I think he might give Loma fits in spurts. But overall, I think it's going to be the same result as a Hernandez fight, maybe even quicker, because I think Hernandez is a better fighter.
Yeah, my thoughts about the fight. I think first of all, I think it's a good matchup. Lomachenko has fought good fighters, and in my opinion, the better fighter, probably the best fighter he's came across is Jorge Hernandez, and that was a great fight. I didn't see that unfolding that way, and as far as I know, Campbell, he has a great amateur pedigree. He's a gold medalist, I believe, for London, the English team, which says a lot because you got to be really good to win an Olympic gold medal. And we obviously know that Lomachenko is a two-time gold medalist. So it's an interesting matchup for sure because he is very tall, rangy. I really haven't honestly watched much of him as a fighter, but for the fact that he's the height that he possesses and the range, it's going to be definitely interesting to see Vasyl Lomachenko adjust. And Lomachenko is a fighter who adjusts very well, in my opinion. And then we track back to his earlier career. He had a hard time adjusting with Salido, but I just thought it was just
way early though.
Too green card. He didn't. But I feel like he'll make those adjustments, and I think he should be able to pull it through and beat Campbell.
I mean, they share a common opponent in George Hernandez.
Yeah.
Hernandez has a win over. Not that says everything about the fight,
sure.
But that at least we can have a somewhat of a litmus test. And Campbell lost in the decision, but it was a good fight.
I thought he got stopped. It went 12 rounds.
No, I think it went 12 rounds. If I'm not mistaken.
I wasn't sure. I know he lost to Hernandez, which obviously we all know Lomachenko stopped. But
not that tells styles make fights, of course, but
yeah.
At least we can kind of see where he matches up.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Honestly, I think Lomachenko. He's on a streak. He's been stopping his opponents. They also call him, No Moschenko, which is it's just a humorous name to give him, which is he's been backing up and been doing that. I don't know if he's gonna take him out. I wouldn't be surprised, but I definitely say UD for Lomachenko. But if Campbell does what he does, I wouldn't be surprised because on paper and obviously what he's done in boxing as far as an amateur background and what he's been doing now, he can hold his own, and even though I haven't watched much of him as a fighter, I know he's a top class fighter for sure. And we all know Lomachenko, probably the best pound for pound fighter, if not top 3. Next topic we'll be talking about is Errol Spence Jr. versus Shawn Porter, which is another great matchup for us boxing heads. I think that's an awesome fight. It's very interesting. I think it's equally both dangerous for both fighters, but it's a great matchup, man. Let me know what you think about that, man.
Well, I'm glad finally Earl's getting somebody, with a big name. He's fought some decent, okay people, but he hasn't fought, the Keith Thurmans. He hasn't fought Terrence Crawford and the Shawn Porters of that division. But now he's getting, we're getting to see him versus Shawn Porter. I think Shawn Porter, he's a good fighter. He comes in, he's rough. He fights ugly. He makes it an ugly fight, but that's his style, and it can make people uncomfortable. But going into the Thurman fight, although it was they were exchanging and stuff, I think Thurman got the better of it. And to be honest with you, I think Earl is a better I think he's a little sharper as far as, you know, in those exchanges. Like in my opinion, I think Earl is just, I think whatever Thurman can do, I think Earl can do a little bit better. And I mean, you know, it's kind of hard to say that because Thurman, of course, fought the better opposition, but I just think that Earl's gonna shoot in between those
Thurman
shots.
or Shawn Porter?
No, I'm talking about Shawn Porter when he fought Thurman.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I'm making the comparison. I think Earl matches up a little bit better. In my opinion, I think Earl is just a better fighter than Thurman. So we'll see, man. It's an interesting matchup. We'll see how Earl deals with that rough and tough kind of style, that bully style. But I think he's gonna hold his own, and honestly, I think he's gonna walk through him.
Yeah, that's I like that take. I mean, I kind of mostly agree with that. Errol Spence versus Shawn Porter. First of all, it's a great matchup for the boxing fans. What's interesting, I know Derek James, which is Errol Spence's trainer, and he used to tell me stories all the time about Spence sparring him at the Olympic Training Center. I won't go into details about it, but just know that Errol's team and camp are very confident going into this fight, and they're very they as they like to say, you know, we will worry about other fighters once we, you know, how the fight unfolds and we win or whatever. But let's be honest though, I think Errol Spence to a certain degree is overlooking Shawn, but at the same time not. But he is already, like, in my opinion, looking ahead to fight like a Pacquiao or something, which, you know, kind of takes away from him as a fighter. Now hopefully that doesn't go too far into his head as far as like, I know I'm gonna get through him and get a big payday with Pacquiao, which, you know, obviously he wants, because obviously he feels confident enough that he can be both fighters, and as he should. I mean, he is fair. You know, to be fair, he's a pretty scary fighter. I mean, I wouldn't call him the boogeyman, but in a sense, he is kind of the boogeyman of the division. But like I said, let's go into, like, as far as skill sets. Errol, I give him the edge as far as skill set, but he's equally as tough as Shawn. The only thing with Shawn is that, quote by quote, he's dirty. And I don't think he's intentionally dirty, to be honest. I just think that's just his style. Like, he's so aggressive and a little bit, what is it?
He wants to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah, for sure. He wants to make you uncomfortable. I wouldn't say he's intentionally dirty. I just think that's his style. He's rough, aggressive, and he's athletically a raw person. Like, he's a raw boxer. Like, he's not a very skillful boxer, but he's skillful at the same time. Like, I don't know how to explain it for him, but
I mean, just being in there. I mean, his style is going in there being dirty. Like, if he comes in with his head, he don't give a shit. Like, you know, that's his style. He wants to back you up. You know.
That's very true.
Yeah, that's his style.
Yeah. So, like, but that always gives fighters fits because they got to be able to adjust. And when you fight a fighter who's awkward and does all these range of motions, jumping in and out and head first, it's really hard to adjust to those styles. But I think Earl can adjust, and eventually, I don't know, man.
I mean, if you go back to the what's his name, Kell Brook versus Porter, Kell Brook outboxed and outfoxed him.
Oh, that's a valid point.
And then you saw what Earl did. Not that tells, you know, obviously style makes fights.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I mean, we saw what Earl did with Kell Brook, and yeah, that was coming off the Triple G loss. Yeah, I understand, I get it, but I think Earl can box. You know, maybe not as, I don't know. I think Brook is really slick, but Earl can box, and I'm pretty sure if he wanted to, he could take that fight that way. But also too, if it gets into a dogfight, I'm sure Earl's comfortable there too.
Yeah, that's what makes the fight so interesting, because he's versatile, he's dynamic. He can box, and he can sit down and slug it out. Like, he's not afraid to do both, which is awesome. And Porter, in my opinion, I think he likes to think he knows how to box. In my opinion, he's more favorable if he comes forward and be aggressive and be the fighter that we all know him. I really don't want to see him box, because I feel like if he comes out in that way, he's going to lose decisively. Maybe get knocked out, jump into a shot, but definitely lose decisively.
I don't know. I think
that's what I think.
Yeah, every time I've seen him fight, I've never seen him box. It's always coming in.
He'll try for like a round or two, and it doesn't work out. He ends up going back to what works best for him, which is jumping in, being aggressive, being, I guess, quote unquote dirty. But at the end of the day, that's his style. But I'm gonna take Earl on that one. I can't call it, but I feel like Earl can. I wouldn't be surprised if Earl gets him out, and I wouldn't be surprised if Earl wins by UD or decision. Porter, I really just don't see him beating Spence. But at the end of the day, it's boxing. One punch can change a fight. Anything can happen. It's boxing. And that's our predictions, assessments, and thoughts about these two matchups.
All right, so that concludes what we think about Vasyl Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell and Earl Spence Jr. versus Shawn Porter.
All right, with that being said, be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram and Facebook at BoxUpNation. And be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And let us know what you think about these two matchups that's going to happen in the boxing world.